everything what was boxing. So I say I go on my regular name, and it just be straight only boxers.
Okay. Yeah, hold up. We should be live now. Hold on, let me just double check, make sure everything is up and on the running. Uh, we don't want to have another repeat of last show. It says we're live. We should be live. I just want to make sure. I'm trying to pull it up on my phone real quick. But it's 'cause for some reason it's not loading up on my phone. But it says we are live. Yeah, we should be good. Um, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? This is J Knock here with Poe. We are doing a retake of the last show because the audio didn't pick up on my end. It picked up Poe's, but it didn't pick up mine. I made a mistake on the stream, but moving forward from now on, from starting from this Sunday, we will be doing shows on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and we will also be doing shows Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Um, so we will be covering uh, the wish list, also doing some recaps of fights that happened during the weekend. We should be doing those on Sundays, and on Wednesdays we'll be just be covering the long, extensive list of the boxing video game wish list from the site. What's up, Poe? How you doing, man?
How's it going?
It's going, man. What you been up to, man? What's good? What's good going on with you, man?
Everything's been well. Just been working on my wish list and trying to make some moves behind the scene.
Okay,
But
okay.
everything's good. Well, what's going on with you? How's you been?
Man, been good, been good. Just trying to get everything together. I finally got looks my health situation should be good. Um, we should be okay with that, and just trying to get a push for this for an actual boxing game done right, and trying to catch the ears of these companies, man, doing whatever it
Definitely.
takes. Um, but let's go ahead and start it off, man. Uh, big weekend of fights, man.
Yes, it was.
Big weekend of fights. Geez, let's start off with there was a fight on Friday, wasn't it? With
Yes, it
Devin
was.
Haney and
Yeah, yeah, Devin Haney.
who was the females boxing then?
Oh, damn, I forget that. So much
Was it
boxing, I was like
was it the
so
Can-
excited.
was it the Conejo and
Oh,
oh
Seriano
oh no, no, okay,
and
okay, it was
Hardy.
yeah, Hart, okay, yes, that was let's start it off with that one. That fight, man, I
Wow.
I I I think it catapulted women's boxing on with that fight.
Yes, it did. It really did. It's like the casual fan like made them salivate. It like made them happy. That's what they want. They just brought it, and they did made people look at women boxing different because they always thought women boxing was kind of boring. But no,
I think it was technically sound. Granted, we didn't get to see the knockout that we everybody would want. Typical casual fans and everything. They want to see that knockout. But I think it was
yeah,
I think it was solid. Hardy is a tough opponent.
yes,
Um, she got rocked by Serrano, I believe, in the first round. I feel, and from there it was just. I mean, she. Don't get me wrong. Hardy put up a great fight, but I think Serrano was just picking her apart from first round on. Um, the one thing I don't like about Serrano is she leaves herself open when she throws some of her punches, especially her uppercuts.
yeah. That upcut from the outside is not a good look. That's a bad look. That shows you what happened when Buster Douglas tried to do it against Holyfield.
Yeah.
Holyfield caught him.
hmm Um, and then we had and she captured, was it the WBO or the WBC?
Dad, I'm not.
Or did she
I
capture
think it
both?
was the. Yeah, I think they both had belts.
I think they captured both. I think. I'm almost certain it went the full 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Oh, the WBO, WBO.
Okay. Okay.
But I could have sworn I seen Serrano with the WBC belt.
That's what I thought, Dad. So many belts floating around.
Yeah, man, that's one thing. That's one thing I hate about the landscape of boxing right now. There's just like they're they're throwing all these belts, and it's like even for a boxing fan, and not just a casual fan, but a boxing fan, it'll make their head spin.
Yeah. Well.
I mean, okay, I don't want to jump ahead. We'll get to that one, but Devin Haney. Devin Haney had a fight. Um, he looked solid, man. What you think?
Oh, he looked real good. It's a fight that he need because he trying to prove that he belongs. The hardcore boxing fans they know he belongs, but he want to put his image in everybody eyesight that he belongs, so he could be in the conversation more. Devin Haney's not really in everybody conversation. It's like a group of people that has Devin Haney in their conversation.
Yeah, I think like I mean Devin Haney's been doing everything basically. He's with co-promoting with Eddie Hearn now, but he's pretty much doing everything. He was doing everything almost by himself.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. But that I would say is is definitely a thing that needs to be like these guys need to get pushed out more, a lot more, and get more notoriety because Devin Haney's a great prospect. He's young. I think he's what is he 20, 21, 20?
You're 20.
Um, and he definitely needs a lot of more experience. He did call out Lomachenko. Now, what do you think about that fight, man?
That it's kind of odd because it seems like Lomachenko is because it's like because he waiting so much to get these big fights that I feel like he like losing a step or two, and Lomachenko's not young,
Right.
so I
How
think it's a good fight for him
how old is
if he
Lomachenko?
won it. What I think he like 36, 37, something like that. Let me see. I,
Oh, he's
I'll do
30. He's
my
31.
research.
31.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
Yeah, but
but I mean,
a lot of
in
people
the
say that's
boxing
getting
world,
old.
yeah, in the boxing world, that's you're starting to hit that prime, almost at your peak, and you're for some boxers, there are some anomalies that we had in the boxing world, but for some boxers, you're at that peak, and you're going to start to hit that decline pretty soon.
Yeah, and Lomachenko, it's like his weight is set. They, some people want to move up, but I don't. I can't see him moving up because his body is. It seems like it's set like that. You know, somebody like Pacquiao is like he's a total different beast. He's like something totally different for him to get as big as he got.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of odd with Pacquiao. I've always felt that way with Pacquiao.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it because you got. I, the
But
only
yeah, I
time I
think
see people that get big like that, from me being in boxing and weightlifting and all that, yeah,
yeah,
that's exactly what I
yeah.
feel going on.
Um, but Lomachenko, like you are right. Lomachenko's is set in his body. I don't think he's maturing anymore. I think he's pretty much done at that point. Like I don't see him
Yeah,
getting any bigger, and I don't think he can get any bigger just based off of his frame. Um,
yeah,
because if he
and,
got any bigger, like he's gonna get into some bigger punchers.
yeah, and the body, your body adjusts differently when you put more weight onto it. The way you throw your punches, and everything that Lomachenko does is based on his body frame. He
Right.
can do them different moves, get out the way a little quicker and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I don't see Lomachenko moving up to, let's say, a 140, and fighting the likes of even though what he called was fighting at a lower weight class, but Mikey Garcia has bloomed into a bigger fighter,
Yeah, he's
size
not
wise.
going back
He's
down.
not he's not. I don't see he could, but I don't see him going back down. Um,
No.
but for Loma to jump up in that weight, I don't I don't see him standing with a a Mikey Garcia or well, hell, I think he can stand with the likes of what's his name, Adrian Broner, but Adrian
Yeah.
Broner's he I don't know, he just doesn't fight, but Devin Haney and Lomachenko, do you think it's too soon?
Yeah. I'd say one more good fight, but who else is there really for him to really fight to prove himself? He don't want to be waiting so long that he get like Teofimo Lopez, you know, get in there and might get that win because Teofimo Lopez, he's awkward too. He's an awkward fighter.
Right.
Oh, you got Terrence Crawford in the 140.
But hold up, we
You got
there was somebody on the last show that you spoke of that a lot of people don't speak of. You remember who that is?
that. I forget who it was. I really do.
Russell.
That. Oh, yeah, Gary Russell. Yeah, he should be in the talk, and he keeps saying why nobody's talking about him. They're not putting him in the conversation.
I think he needs for people to talk about him. I think he needs to
Yeah,
go out and try to find somebody for. I don't think he needs to wait around and yeah, I think he is getting there up in the age too, but I think he needs to make something happen so people can actually say, oh, wow, Gary Russell, we do need to talk about him.
exactly. Yeah,
And
because
then go ahead.
Gary Russell, he's one of them fighters that he's excited. He can make exciting fights. Especially I can see because he was injured when he fought Lomachenko.
Hmm.
And I can see it being a better fight and more energy put into it. But yeah, Gary Russell got to be in these conversations again, and people, and no one's, and they got to actually ask themselves, why is nobody talking about Gary Russell? He has a belt,
Yeah,
you know.
because I don't think he doesn't have a Al Heyman PBC or Matchroom, Eddie Hearns, Golden Boy behind him that's pushing him.
Yeah.
That's a big problem with with boxing right now. Um, but jump. Let me see. Are we missing anything? There was that heavyweight fight.
Oh, Tyson Fury.
No. The one before that. There was a. It was on the Devin Haney card, I believe. It was Hunter. I think his
Oh
name
yeah,
was
Hunter.
Hunter,
Yeah, Hunter.
and I think it was a Russian cat. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Um, but that fight, I don't see him. He called out Povetkin, but I just if the right Povetkin comes, I don't see that the Hunter taking care of what's his name, Povetkin.
Yeah, because Povetkin was always dangerous. That's what a lot of people sleep on Povetkin, and I tell people stop downing another fighter, because when your favorite fighter fights them, now they're dangerous.
Hmm.
You know, because well, Povetkin, he's excellent fighter when he's on his game.
Yeah, when he's there, and he's up there in age, Father Time could poke his head out and be like, "Hey, not today," and
Yeah,
we've
that's
seen it
true.
before. Um, but jumping forward, then we had on the Tyson Fury, what was his name? Tyson Fury and
Ada Wallen.
Wallen, yeah, Otto Wallen. Um, on that
That was
card,
a shocking fight.
on that
Oh,
card.
you talking about the
Before that,
card?
we're gonna jump on Marcela Cornejo versus ooh, you know what? And I'm following her. I'm probably gonna get some. What was her name? Um, she has a abbreviated name, man. What is her name? It's hyphenated.
I ain't see that much.
Facion. Facion Cruz
Okay.
Dezorn? Dezorn?
Oh, and she's one of my friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My bad, Facion. My bad. I apologize. I follow you on Instagram. I reached out to you. Um, but she had the fight with Cornejo. Um, you didn't catch.
That was a rematch, right?
Right. They fought before. You didn't catch that fight though, right?
No, I
Okay.
didn't catch that fight because I
Cornet.
didn't even know she was fighting. And we friends, and she be talking, you know, Instagram be posting stuff, and I didn't even know she was fighting. I was like, wow, how did I miss that?
Yeah, she fought. Cornejo took the fight, and what was said, she took the fight in 2 days' notice.
Yeah.
I've seen her doing some training. Um, but she didn't have a actual. I don't think she actually had a like a full proper camp with coaches and everything. Cornejo didn't. Um,
Mm,
but Facion, I think I'm saying her name properly. I hope I am. Uh,
mm,
um, she put it to her.
yeah.
She kind of exposed her. Now you have now it's kind of like and I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about Cruz de Discern. I'm not talking about her in any way, but you kind of have that dynamic of Andy Ruiz versus AJ, where you have a fighter that is kind of this quote unquote statuesque boxing form, physical form, versus somebody that is not in full form, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
she's not like ripped or anything. Discern is not. Um, but what do you call it? Did I think she kind of did expose her? Now, could it have been she lacked the camp or lacked the actual guidance from a true coach? Because I don't think she had one. Cornejo.
Yeah, I think that plays a big, plays big in boxing matches about your coaching,
I
having a good
she had one.
camp and everything.
She had one. She had one. She had one during the fight, because you have to
Um,
have one during the fight. You just can't have one.
yeah,
Because that's regulated by the governing bodies,
yeah,
right?
because I seen friends that they coach and a person could train themselves, but when come fight night, they'll be in the corner
Mhm.
just so they can have a person in the corner to give them
Mhm.
water or whatever.
So uh, I watched the fight, uh, and you know, I personally don't like Cruz Discern's fighting style. She
But it's kind of
to me,
wild for you.
yeah, to me it's kind of it reminds me of Sean Porter's. And I'm not a fan, like, not Sean Porter's with the fact of leading with the head and all this, but it's just a little bit too wild for me. For my now she's a boxer. I mean, like I said, she put it to her. She put it to Cornejo, but I just don't like that style. But she did what she had to do to win, and she looked decent. If you wanted to, like, taking my personal preference out of it, she looked good doing it, and she picked apart Cornejo. I just don't like that. Me personally, like I said, I don't like that style of that, like, kind of wildness, that bully. And she actually threw Cornejo down on the ground, I believe. I think. Yeah, she did. She did. She
Yeah, she had that bullying style
yeah,
that remind me of um John Ruiz.
yeah.
Remember John Ruiz?
Mhm.
He tried to bully everybody until he fought the bullies.
Yep. And that definitely exposed him. And
Yeah,
I think if I'm correct, I think she came in a little late in the boxing, considered, like, age wise. I think she came in a little bit late. Uh, um,
yeah,
Cruz Discern. Um,
yeah. It's a lot of the female boxers there. They're like up there in age,
yeah,
and what's good is they giving the younger generation feel that they could come into it.
they're definitely having a good movement, and I reached out to Cruz Discern, and I told her, I said, hey, um, I do like what she's doing. Like, I think women's boxing should get pushed a lot more.
Yeah,
And these two fights back to back, I think that's helping the cause, for women's boxing.
and it proved that a record shouldn't stop you because she's 6-1 with 2 KOs,
Mm-hmm.
and Carnage,
Conejo.
I'm chopping up on it. Yeah,
Conejo.
Canelo, she's 13-4 with 5 KOs.
Yeah.
So that shows you, a lot of casual fans say, "Oh, these bones fighting," but in boxing, a good fight is a good fight. The
Yeah. What?
record shouldn't
But
matter.
you gotta also think women's boxing is different from men's boxing too. The
Yeah,
the fighting pool is a lot scarce. Sometimes they can't get the fights, and they have to bounce around in weights. And in women's boxing, you have women actually going down in weight, which you don't really see regularly, where they become champions in a higher weight class, and then there's nobody there for them, because they wipe a division out, and then they move down. I think Clarissa did that, didn't she?
yes.
Yeah.
And she trying to bounce around. And to me, I don't know who's training her what, constantly bouncing around with the weight, and that's when you could tell a casual fan. You cannot keep fluctuating weights, your weight class.
That was
That's what hurt Roy Jones.
Yep, I
It
was
hurt
just about
him
to say that.
real bad.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
That's the problem that happened. You can't have a fight at heavyweight like Roy Jones did, and then 4 to 5 weeks later, he's jumping back down, losing 25 pounds, and more of
yeah,
of muscle and weight,
yeah,
and mainly it's going to be muscle, to to
yeah,
to drop back down, drain his body, and kill his body to fight a Tarver. That's why he looked bad in the first Tarver fight, and that's what's
yeah,
and then that's what actually got him knocked out in the second fight
yeah. Like
because he was
sauces
drained.
you up once
Yeah,
you.
he was
Yeah,
drained. But moving on, that was a great fight. She captured two belts. She captured the WBC and the WBO. I think she already had the WBO. Cruz Discern did. Um, but she is a champ, double champ. Um, hopefully, she can get a unification fight and she can get that going. Um, uh, Now moving on to, I don't think what else what else were we missing any fights, major fights on that card other than the main event?
no,
I
none
can't
to
think.
talk about.
Like yeah, I couldn't.
None that really caught my attention to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, I couldn't. I can't. It's a lot of things happen. So, but moving
Yeah,
on, jumping into Tyson Fury versus uh, Otto
Wallen.
Wallen. Um, what you think about that? Did you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. What you think
Yeah,
about that fight, man? You said something earlier that it was.
I think Tyson Fury kind of really underestimated Otto Wallen. Even though he was beating him, but Otto Wallen was like doing more than most of his opponents besides Wilder and well, he dominated Klitschko, but Wilder, you would think that after that fight he'd just be shutting boxers out, and no, that didn't happen.
Now Otto, he's no. I don't think he's not a super top amazing prospect in the heavyweight division. There's a lot of other
Yes,
boxers
especially in America.
that are a lot better than him. Um, but but he does have a solid record. I think he was undefeated.
Yeah, and I was questioning that because I never heard of him. And I'm like, who did he beat? How good is this guy? And they kept showing this fight where it seemed like he was trying to quit or whatever. And I'm like, wow, it's like Tyson Fury picking these bombs to fight. And this guy roughed him up again to fight. And that's what you got to do to Tyson Fury. That's why I say Tyson would have ran through him like water because he would have roughed him up.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. I'm pulling up his what he call. He's 20-1 with 13 KOs. Um, let's see. Nick Kaiser, no decision. Andre Granite, and Adre Granat.
Everybody from his country, basically.
Yeah, he had the European Union heavyweight title. Um, yeah, he. I'm not. Let me see some. No, I'm not seeing any names that are like, hey,
Stand out.
yeah. There's no Poveckins. There's no top 10 fighters. I can tell you that. There's no top 10 fighters. Top 10 heavyweights. Um, Now I think that fight, what do you call it, kind of got a little exposed, man.
Yeah,
Tyson Fury,
yeah, exactly.
because he should have. I'm sorry, he should have got him out of there. He didn't look too lineal champion to me.
It seemed like he kind of came in the fight a little worried too. When I was watching him, I was like, "Dad, it don't seem like you know, like he had to really live up to, because I guess Andy Ruiz got everybody scared.
Yeah,
Everybody's scared. It could be my night tonight because um Ruiz did the same thing to Joshua.
but did you watch the Mike Tyson podcast that Tyson Fury did?
No, I didn't. Now that's one of them that I missed.
Okay, he said Tyson Fury said something very telling to me in that podcast. he said, and I'm gonna try to quote. I could be a little bit off, but I might be paraphrasing here. Um, but he said that he's not taking things too seriously. You know, because he's living the like he's enjoying what's going on because he's entertaining. So to me, that seems like he's not in it.
Yeah, I saw that too. I mean, I see that in his behavior, little things that he's saying. Like, you're not talking like a fighter. Like, it's like he's setting himself up for when he do fall,
It's gonna
it's
be
not
okay.
major.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not major.
because it's like that everything that he went through. What is he like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", somewhere around there, 6'9" or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yes.
and he was up to 400 pounds. You know, he came back from all that drugs, alcohol. He came back from all that, but and now he's saying he's enjoying what's going on. He's putting on a show. He's entertaining. Yes, you are, but you're at the top. You don't you you're not entertaining at the top because there's nobody above you at that point. You're
Yeah.
not impressing anybody because people are coming after you. You're the man. And Mike Tyson said something that way. It's like he said like you're hungry when you're young, and then when you get there, sometimes it's hard. Even what's his name said it. Was it Hearns or was it Hagler? That said it's kind of hard to do the runs when you're laying in silk sheets.
Oh, yeah. Damn, I forgot who said that. And I hear it a lot. I hear it a lot.
It was either Hearns or Hagler, one of those two.
Yeah, I think it
Um,
was Hagler. It was Hagler. It was Hagler. It was Hagler.
and yeah, those things are hard, but like nobody is coming after like nobody he he doesn't have to come after anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyson Fury doesn't have to come after anybody. So he needs to find something to stay on it. That's what I feel. He
Yeah.
has to motivate himself. He has to be as hungry as he was when he was when he was fighting Klitschko. And then I don't think he was even really hungry as you see like a Deontay Wilder is or Andrew Ruiz. You know, this it just I don't know. He just seems like he's not in it, and like he did not look good.
I really think he just preparing for the inevitable. He know that Deontay Wilder could just take him out at any time, and when it happens, I'm alright with it. That's how it sounds. Even though he's talking, he is in one sentence he is saying that nobody's could beat me. I'm Tyson Fury, and I'm the lineal heavyweight. See, he keep using that lineal heavyweight as a crutch. I never really heard anyone talk about the lineal heavyweight part. Like Lennox Lewis never really talked about it.
Right.
He just talked about the three belts the physical belts that he had. Now they made up a belt to give Tyson Fury to make him feel secure, make him feel comfortable. They
Yeah.
should
What
have
was
never
up?
gave him that
What was
belt.
what was that? What was that
That's
that
like,
that Mayan championship belt? Okay, I understand
yeah,
the whole Mexican independence because it's the
yeah, it
15th,
was kind of
16th, 17th somewhere out there.
disrespectful.
But I understand why they had it during that time. I think uh what's his name fought for that belt a couple years back. Canelo.
Yeah,
And he got a version of that um during that time when Canelo fought, and it was the same kind of style thing. But I don't think like why what the hell why
yeah.
he's not a WBC champ.
Nope, he don't have no belts.
He those all those got vacated. Yeah, you're the lineal champ, but I mean, to me, your reign ended when you took that hiatus,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then and that
And you
that that
thought the
that
bird
creates
would
a
go back up to catch you what you lost.
that creates a stamp and a period in that time spot where you're no longer relevant. You ended that, and then you want to come back, and then you're saying, oh, I'm the lineal champ. Well, yo, we the world moved on.
Yeah.
The world is no longer yours in the boxing world.
I never, you know what? I never heard that even being attached to Mike Tyson when he was boxing. I heard nobody said Mike Tyson the lineal champ. They say undisputed. That's it. That's all I heard. Undisputed. That's the only thing that I hear like that used to float
What do,
around.
what do
The
you call it?
lineal
Did a
champ only.
Max Kellerman did a breakdown of like the lineal champ history, um, and I can't remember if what do you call it was in there. Yeah, he was because didn't he beat Spinks? Tyson beat Spinks, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, my
Tyson had
mind's
all
not
three belts.
right. So he actually beat the lineal champ. So yeah, he was a lineal champ at the time.
Yep. And Holyfield beat Tyson. Lennox Lewis beat. They got they could call this a lineal champ, but they never used that.
Right.
They never used that. I never heard them use that.
Yeah, I don't. I just think it might be a propping up for to add another name in the hat of the top heavyweights right now.
Yeah.
I don't see Tyson Fury winning a fight with Deontay Wilder based off his last performance.
Me neither.
I don't see it.
And I think that's going to actually be in the back of his mind too. Especially after you get hurt. I mean, cut like that, that cut and stuff like that.
Yo, did you
You're
see
like,
that
damn,
dirt
I could
that
be
that
cut.
did you see that dirtiness that Otto Wallens did?
Oh yeah, try to rub it again to open it
Yeah, man.
up.
He should have got
I'm
docked for
laughing
that.
because that's old school. I'm laughing.
Yeah, yeah,
That's some, they rub your cuts and stuff to make them open up wider and stuff.
yeah.
I really don't think you still would have got the fight
Nah.
if they went to the cards or something like that.
No, actually, I think they said something that he was losing. That Tyson Fury
Oh,
was
Otto
losing
Wallin,
then.
right?
Yeah, he was
Oh
losing during that
yeah,
time.
yeah. They was like, he's trying to get a TKO because he got the TKO because the cut, they could stop it on the cut, and he was trying to get that too.
Yeah, I think
He was trying to
yeah,
he
he
was
was trying to
trying to
get
do
the
as
stop
much
on the
as he
cut for the
could to make it
TKO,
in his favor.
and I think it might have been a toss up at that point. I personally think that what do you call it kind of squeaked the fights the rounds away Tyson Fury, but
Yeah,
he didn't look good, man, at all. He didn't look good at
he
all.
did.
And that's just my honest opinion. It's a heavyweight. When you look at Deontay's Wild, like, because we can only go back to what happened in their last fight,
Exactly.
right? So so if you look at Wilder's fight in Brazil, washed him first round,
Well, he did what he's supposed to do.
right? Damn near killed the guy. You know what I'm saying? And then you
Yeah,
then you look at the which we're having a rematch in December, where you look at the AJ and Ruiz. Ruiz, I think Ruiz was I don't think Joshua might have won 2 rounds out of that until the stoppage, 2 or 3 rounds.
yeah, because Reeves technically he won that round that he got knocked down in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So
I don't I can't see too much difference because he still has the same trainer.
mm-hmm.
Because the trainer's gonna do little things, but it's still the same. It's gonna be the same, you know, blueprint basically.
But okay, so what about the effect where you're fighting a higher caliber person, where that pushes you to a different level? You know what I'm saying? What about that? What
Yeah,
about that aspect? Do you think that's going to play a role into the Wilder fight versus Fury for one? And do you think that that mindset is going to trigger into AJ to where he can reverse his loss and get his belt back versus Ruiz? What do you think about point one with Wilder and Fury?
I think it's gonna be a little better fight, but I still think Wilder is gonna make the adjustment, especially if he do what he said he's gonna do, gain extra weight. Because with Wilder, a little extra weight can help him a whole lot. Because Wilder has a very thin frame.
I think if he puts on muscle, which if he goes out and lifts weights, um, I don't think it's going to mess up his stamina as much. But if he puts on some muscle weight, especially with his natural power, I think that when we're looking at if he gets through Ortiz, there was some rumors about that being canceled or whatever, but I haven't heard anything official. You haven't heard anything official about it. Um, but if he gets through Ortiz and the Tyson Fury fights happen, well, it's gonna happen. Um, but that rematch happens, and I don't see it going if he puts on that more weight, that more muscle. I don't see it going past 6, maybe 7.
Yeah,
But
that's a
Wilder
good
by KO.
prediction.
Wilder by KO
Yeah,
by 7. 7 or less.
yeah, that's a good prediction. 'Cause for one, with when he fight Ortiz, Ortiz is a power puncher. Ortiz coming towards you.
Hmm.
That goes right into Wilder's hands.
And the thing with that Ortiz fight, the last Ortiz fight with him and Wilder, um, in my humble opinion, and what I seen with the fight is Wilder was kind of fighting as a on his back foot and more doing the counter punching. He wasn't fighting his normal Deontay Wilder fight.
True.
That's the way I feel. Um,
Yeah, that's
because if,
true.
if, if he if he pushed more, if Wilder pushed more, I think he could have got him out faster than I think it was the seventh. Was it seventh or was it seventh or ninth?
It's seventh round.
Seventh round. Okay. Um, I think he could have got him out faster if he actually pressed more and toned down his wildness that fight because he was a little bit wild on that fight, and he did get caught in the round before they did the stoppage of when Ortiz got stopped because Wilder did get rocked on that in that fight.
Yeah,
So I think if he dials it in more, I think he can get Ortiz out. If he actually fights his fight, I think he can get him out pretty quick because I don't. There's not a fighter that can take Wilder's power in the heavyweight division right now.
and that's so true. Cause everybody, even George Foreman, and George Foreman was like one of the top heavyweight punchers in
Mm-hmm.
boxing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Yo, wow, the punches." He said, "It's look better than mine, stronger than mine."
Yeah.
And you gotta look at the way he throws his punches. His arms are thin, don't look like he got any power, and he just dropped them.
Yep. Hold
A
on one
lot of
second.
guys
I'm
look
gonna
like they're
switch my
lifeless.
I'm gonna switch my battery in my headset, guys. Hold on one second.
Yeah, yeah, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
All right,
You
I'm
know,
back. I'm back. I should be. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. Let me just double check on the phone real quick. Uh, Go ahead and I mean talk about actually just jump it. Go ahead and jump into where did we leave off last time? Actually we need to go back. We was talking about.
we go to fight now because we talked about the arm and muscle.
Okay, fight now. Go ahead and jump on that real quick. Let me just
Yeah.
pause my mic real quick.
Oh yeah. Is the creator part should be a part of fight now. Fight now is an offline mode, but a creator card mode could be for online too if it's set up correctly. Just create these different cards and promote them. You can promote them online. Because back in my fight night days, we used to do it. But if a company put these assets in the game, you can use them yourself, and you don't have to make up your own thing using all this different hardware and stuff just to make the game look decent.
Hmm.
That's why a lot of people want PC. So PC, you could customize the game the way you think it should be.
Yeah, there's less limitations on PC than there is
Yeah,
consoles, because consoles is a pretty much closed off environment.
yeah,
Except there's a little bit more opening on the Xbox side. Um, but on the PlayStation side, it's a lot more closed off. It's kind of like Apple and Android, basically,
yeah.
how their ecosystems are. Um, you touched on like
Create
promoting,
a card.
create a card,
Yeah,
promoting fights. Um, I think that will be big, especially, and we don't need to get them in now. We don't need to get them in now. We can get them in later for and these games, boxing games need to come out first, and they need to prove that they're a viable product still. And they can definitely get some of these promotion teams on board, the Matrons, uh, the PBCs, the Golden Boys, the top ranks. Um,
yeah,
we can get these things in there, um, to where uh, we can have cards being built up. You know what I'm saying? To where we can build
yeah.
these cards in these boxing games. It's not something that, like I said, it's not something that we need right away,
Out the box,
right
yeah.
out the box.
Because I know with a lot of these companies, they like the idea of. Because I reach out to every little, like the promoters, the managers, the boxers, or whoever's dealing with it with boxing. Because to me, if I could get the boxing community involved in a boxing game or won the boxing game, that'll make it much bigger and a better product. And like creating a fighter card, I seen this not I mean create a fight card. I seen it in tech sim games. And I see how it worked within the tech sim game. And I say, Dad, imagine we had this, because I threw the idea around in a different community. I said, imagine we had this in a boxing game. They say, yo, it'll be epic, we'll love it.
Well, we, we,
But
we kind of
I
had
understand what you're saying.
we
But
kind of we kind of had that in one of the fight nights,
yeah,
where we can import rosters and stuff.
yes.
But they didn't flesh it out. But what were we saying? That you're saying how?
Yeah, it's a great thing to have, and just giving fans that asset to put in that's in a game that they could create, you know be it online or offline,
You
and you got so much you could do with it.
Yeah. One thing too, especially if any of these boxing games got that to where they implemented like a PBC, a Matchroom, Top Rank, Golden Boy, right? If you get these things to where there's a lot of politics in the boxing world, and all, right? So sometimes we
Yeah,
don't get uh, a PBC fighter fighting a top rank guy, or a PBC fighter fighting a Golden Boy guy. Sometimes we get these cross promotion boundaries, but it's few and far between. And that can be a tool to promote and push some of these promotion these political things out of boxing, to where if we're creating buzz to where we're matching up a AJ versus a Wilder, or a um, Terrence Farmer versus a Tank Davis, and we're getting these pushes, and there's buzz getting created. I mean, there's already buzz there, but
yeah,
if we get these more to where we can put these on a screen and be like, this is the simulated version of it. Now we need to see it for real, and that can create that more hype for those matches, those cross promotion boundaries. I feel.
Yeah, cause like suppose a fan create a card and they have certain boxes on it, and then they throw it on YouTube and their views like be shooting up, and then a promoter or somebody see it and they like, yo, it got that many views. Those are eyes.
Hmm.
That's money. So it's a great idea. Great thought at least.
And boxers. Okay, so going back, let's talk about create fight cards now. Um, with boxers, what do you feel about boxers getting locked into contracts?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Especially when you get what you talk about in general, like for as management, or you going to ask them
Different
to be in
games,
a game or
different
something.
games. Yeah, different
Oh,
games.
okay. To be in games, I don't think that's a good thing. I never thought that was a good thing because boxers shouldn't be locked in a contract that they can't deal with other companies because EA, 2K, they both had basketball. Even though they have it's a license, but still they both had basketball teams. They had all the basketball teams, and what the companies had to deal with is content, and that makes a company have to work off the content, not just locking in boxers and the fans say, no, I want this boxer, but he's another game.
Yeah.
But if both games got it, there's two things the company got to do. They have both them had the boxes. They got to make sure they have their tendencies and everything accurate because the fans gonna compare them.
Hmm. And
Now, when you got the guts and stuff, that's when fans gonna really like be excited about it. Now, I like that it'll make companies like really push themselves.
uh, you really can't compare the two, but I'm going to compare the two. Um, just based off of rosters wise. Now you have Fight Night.
Mm-hmm.
You have Fight Night that had Chad Dawson in there, and then you also have Don King Prize Fighter, which also had Chad Dawson in there. Um, More people are going to, I mean, just simply because Don King's Prize Fighter was trash.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're going to play if they're a Chad Dawson fan, they're going to be on Fight Night, of course, because
Yeah.
because at that point it was a better game. And and as you were saying, if these fighters are not locked into these contracts, they have the ability to and leave it on the development teams to put out a great product. And if they put out a great product with the same boxer that's on the other game, then there's no like a say about it. It's like, okay, this is a better boxing game. They have the same fighters, but this is a better boxing game. It works better. The mechanics are better. The gameplay is just way better. And that shows clearly in the Fight Night versus Prize Fighter, even though they're like you really can't compare the two because it was night and day with those two games.
Yeah. And what makes it so bad, EA Fight Night, they were scared of when Don King announced that I mean, when 2K announced that they're making a boxing game, they were scared. And then the fear would have been once the product dropped, which it dropped real fast. They're like, even though EA, like, yo, why did they drop the game? Why did they rush the game out so fast?
Well,
Now they really showed us what we have to work with.
a lot of people don't like. There was a lot like that studio that made it, Venom. Uh,
Yes,
they were bought by 2K years prior, back in like I think 2004 or something like that, and um, they took a while for that game to come out. I think the game came out in 2007, 2008. Um,
2007.
and
No,
when
it came out 2008 because that's when the
yeah,
whole fight night round. I mean, yeah, the four
and
came
right
out.
right when that game came out, they closed down the studio. So
Yeah,
they
they
were
did it
they were
EA.
they were they were pushing that game out just to get it out. So that's what a lot of people don't know is that that company that was behind that game, they were already gonna be closed down, regardless of the outcome of the game or not. Because I think 2K actually seen the game was like, yo, this is trash, this is bad, but we're gonna put it out anyways. People are gonna buy it because people like boxing.
Yeah,
And at the
and I
time,
hate
it
that
was
they did that. And you know what's bad? They only had it for Xbox. It's like they didn't spend the money for the PlayStation,
hell
to get their license for it and stuff.
that could have been PlayStation saying, hell no, we don't want it.
Yeah, yeah, that could have been true.
And that happens. I can't say
Yeah,
I can't pick a game right off the top of my head, but I know there's some out there that are like, nah, we don't want that game because of the quality, and vice versa. Xbox could have said the same thing about some other games too, and like, yo, we don't want that. You guys can keep it over there. Have fun, you know. Um,
yeah.
but let's see. Creating, ability to edit
No belts.
boxers. Create
No, the
about
belts.
belts. Belts. Do we need a
That's
WBC?
what
Do
a
we
lot of
need?
fans, asking for the if you don't want it online, give it to us offline. And
Do we
I
need the
like
alphabet
it
belts? Do we need the alphabet belts though?
is a yeah for because the
Do we need the?
custom fans they love that because you gotta look at it like this. WWE has the creative belt mode and stuff like that, the belt making and stuff, and that
Mm-hmm.
is a huge seller for WWE.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I do the polls and stuff, my thing I do a poll for everything that's on this list, and fans like overwhelmingly want it. They said you can't say we don't have realism, then you take stuff out that adds to the realism of the real world. It's just that you should have the option. No, I want one belt within this my world, or I want three belts within my world. Or if I want to, I can have 10 belts in my world. If that's the way you want it within your, your personal world, or if that's how you want to set up your online community.
I think if they if because a lot of people don't understand that any teams don't have money. Are they're working with limited money. I apologize for
Yeah,
any indie team that I offended with that comment, but they're working with limited money and limited funds. So with that being said, if they cannot get the WBC, WBO, WBA, IBF, IBO, all these belts, right? If you can't get
uh,
those, make it to where we can make those belts. Not just make those belts, make a belt that resembles that style of belt or whatever, and let us implement those in a either offline or online.
yeah,
If you're gonna do online, you guys create your own round for round belt or create your own Hard Knock Nights belt. If you can't get said boxing commission,
yeah.
a governing
And
body.
and that and that's like my friend that I was telling you that he's wanna be on the show Sunday.
Hmm.
That's his thing. That's a whole big list I have on the boxing Wishlist site. He does. He wrote out all of the scripts and everything to create belts, create fighters. Help create the fighters more efficiently. Help create the belts and stuff. He did research on that. So yeah, that is give us some options. You know.
I mean the blueprints are out there, and if see this is what I'm saying like I don't understand the you have a little bit more insight of what you're working with the round for round, but I'm just looking out as an outsider, and I'm looking at both teams, both games, right? And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, okay, why aren't they following blueprints of past games?
Exactly.
Not just past boxing games, but other games like you were saying the 2K. Like you can bring some of those ideas and flip them into your
Boxing idea.
into a boxing idea. One thing I wanted to touch on, which which I don't think a lot of people are aware. Um, the verbiage, and I wanted to bring this to people's attention. The verbiage on Hard Knock Nights games website. They said they are going to mix a uh, time tested, how they say it, a time tested, uh, basically a style of traditional fighting games, and bring it to the world of boxing. Okay, how could you have a Mortal Kombat boxing game?
Yeah, and you can't say it's realistic. You can't.
Because you that's an idea where you can't borrow and make it into a boxing game that you're talking about being a simulation. You can't use a traditional fighting game like that. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I would love for people like, hey, leave it in the comments, talk about it in the comments. Um, I would love to hear people's take on this, like to use a traditional fighting games platform and put it in a boxing game, like it doesn't mix to me. But going back to the list, this is I just want to bring that to attention. I'm not sure if you even were aware of that either.
Yeah,
But belts definitely.
ability to edit existing boxers.
Yeah, abilities now
They,
are now this has to be an offline thing.
yeah, they have to be. But a
Uh,
lot of people, the records, they want the records. Like if I fight, like even if you're online, you want to create a record. Some people want to create the record for the fighter and stuff like that, or offline they want to create the record and edit their abilities because like if they don't have a boxer, like you get a choice of three boxes, which was one of my things. You have three versions of the boxers in their career, and or if you don't give us the three boxes, let us edit the boxer to a certain way that he fight, because they might not get the style accurately or the tendencies accurately on a boxer, and if you give fans the way to edit.
I agree with you, but I don't agree with you. And the reason why I say that is because I hear you,
uh,
and I agree with, like, yeah, having the ability to edit the boxer and to make them because they might not dial in that proper style at fighting at, let's say Roy Jones fighting at heavyweight, or Roy Jones fighting at middleweight. They might not get it styled dialed in properly. But they
mm-hmm,
have to, from the start, this is where I disagree with you. From the start, they actually have to have them dialed uh in one of the, like, they have to have that style in the game already.
mm-hmm,
Like it would have to be animated properly or mocapped properly. Then we can that we because the base has to be there. You see what I'm saying?
yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Like you just can't be like Fight Night and do a brawler, a slickster, a textbook, and there was another one, unconventional. Like those
Mm-hmm,
four, like there's other styles than other than those four styles, and those four styles were excuse me, super generic. That's why Roy Jones didn't fight like Roy Jones in Fight Night. That's why Pernell Whitaker didn't fight like Pernell Whitaker in Fight Night. Now, you can do that with a textbook fighter like a De La Hoya, because De La Hoya is textbook to the T. Like there was no change in his fighting. That's how he was. Um,
yeah.
but you have to have the variations there, even if you don't have them in that weight class at that variation or whatever. Like all those different abilities should be there for us to tweak that boxer to, let's say, a Roy Jones fighting at middleweight, or a Pernell Whitaker, fight style. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's why I disagree with you on that. Like I hear you. That's a great idea, but there's more into it. They need to do more into it rather than
Yeah,
just here you guys can edit your boxers. Like we
yeah.
need it needs to be done right
I,
properly.
yeah. I got a good idea. You know, we should do cause on LinkedIn I be talking to motion caption people and stuff like that. Well, I don't really actually communicate with them, but maybe we could get one of them to come on the show and have the same conversation and see what we're not being told is right, and just I like knowing things like this.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
I'll
Ask them, is a possibility, or is there any get around? All these different questions that we could ask.
yeah. I we'll definitely we'll get into that. We'll definitely get some try to find some animators and motion capture people
Yeah.
to pull in
So
to where we
so
can have
fans
a
can't be like they feel like the company is just telling them stuff to keep them at bay. Just to listen but not listen,
yeah
and we
it'll
get
be
somebody
that
that really know it and
somebody
we're
that's
back
actually
home.
in the business currently or has been or has more of a knowledge than what me or you would have. I totally agree. We'll definitely do that. And I hope everybody uh, uh, watches for that because that's something we will
Yeah,
do. And
definitely.
especially another thing, since we're stepping away from the list a little bit right now, um,
Mm,
we are gonna have. I've been reaching out to some boxers, and we're definitely gonna have some boxers in the near future to where they are talking about how it is as fighters and also getting into boxing games.
yeah, that should be interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely that's something that's one thing I've been working on in the backgrounds too because I definitely want to like boxers we it's a promoting tool. It can be
It
done.
definitely is,
It's
and I don't see why no boxers and companies not seeing it that
it's a
way.
partnership.
But
And
to me, the right person is not actually communicating the right logical things for it.
see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can't go off of influencers alone. You can't just get an influencer's face for YouTube to promote said boxing game because some of their fans might not be into boxing at all.
Yeah,
Um, they they're not invested in it either. But you have to like there's a lot of things lacking and I'm gonna do a video on it, but there's a lot of things lacking that I've seen with both teams to where they're getting the message out because realistically they don't have a proper message out there where it's reaching the gaming community. It's meaning maybe not even 1% of the gaming world. But everybody knows that there's going to be a NBA 2K coming out next year. Everybody knows that there's going to be a Madden coming out next year, even if you're not a Madden fan. Why is that? Because
that's marketing.
because they're putting themselves out there. They're marketing themselves the right ways, and they have a brand that's notable now. And and these teams that are doing these games are not I feel me personally they're going about it all wrong. I've said that I've voiced my opinions especially on the Hard Knock Nights because I've seen more from them and seeing more is not a good thing in my book. The way especially the way we the things that we've got. So um, let's I digress. Let's go ahead and jump back onto the list. Um, fight
Each company
cards.
has its own trainers and gyms.
I like that. I like that. That could be a definite, especially if you're gonna build a see, because you're more of an offline person, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm either or. I'm not one or the other. But especially if you're going to do either online or offline, um, and if you hold in-game tournaments, those things could also be implemented very well. Especially, that's you're representing your country, and a European fighter is different from an American fighter,
Yes.
or an Asian fighter is different from a Mexican fighter, even though they're almost very similar, but they are different.
Yeah.
Different ring sizes. Hold on, able to wear. Hold on.
Being able to watch fights you set up.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now you say we do a card and we can watch the
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah, dude. Like it's basically like
Spectator mode.
yes. No, no, it's not spectator mode. It's you basically set up fights like the cards, like creative card, and people online can see your card that you set up.
Okay, and then
Or you could
I can go
watch
view.
other like say you set up a card in general
Hmm.
within and you have a word you set up a card say yeah man this fighter fighting this fighter because you try to get like if especially if you have a stable of fighters I'm gonna set them up for a fight and set it and it might happen that you have one of your fighters fighting on this date and another fighter fighting on that day so you want to be able to see the whole card or be able to see your fighter fight
Okay.
if I explained that
So what you're
correctly.
saying, like, so you can set up a card, and I can look and see. Okay, Poe got a card at uh in an hour. I'm gonna go check out that
Yeah,
fight. And
yeah.
I could basically sit and I don't think it should be a ringside view. I think it should definitely be like you're watching a pay-per-view if that was to be implemented in a game, uh,
Yeah.
to where you're watching it like on TV instead of being in the crowd. But I think that's a good idea.
Oh, a good idea. I like what you said because I wanted to bring this up because I don't know if I got it on this list. There are different, um, um, when you look at TV, each TV generation had a different visual
Filters,
view on
filter,
yeah filters that things
filters.
filters for the TV. I
Like,
think that will fit perfect for air fights
yeah,
or fans because
they
or
had
you being able to
didn't they
pick that.
didn't they have that in a fight night with the historical fights?
I think they did. I don't think I played that part though.
I
Not
think they
sad.
did. I'm almost positive they did. Where it was like almost it wasn't a black and white. It was more of a
Like a grainy look.
like no, not a grain. Like it was like a yellow kind of hue to it. Not a
Oh
yellow,
yeah,
like a brownish kind of hue to it, if I remember correctly. But
yeah.
they were trying to recreate the black and whites of yesteryear. But yeah, they're definitely especially if you're going if you have, let's say, a roster of a mix of current and legends, and if you're putting a historical bout together, like let's say a Rumble in the Jungle you're putting together, um, it should definitely fill of the 70s.
That era,
Yeah.
the sound and everything.
Hmm.
And I think even if you choose, like I want Jack Johnson to fight Mike Tyson, but you could pick the resolution of the TV
Or
the era,
the filter of the
yeah,
of
filter for
yeah.
the
I like that.
yeah, you could pick that.
That'll be uh, a bells and whistle kind of thing that will get people to fiddle around with things. I like that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's really hard to add because that's to me that's a technical. I mean, that's something you could do in a game anyway. You change
Honest,
the
on,
knob. It's a setting.
honestly, it's not. It's there's a lot of and there's a lot of assets that you can program into the game. And what I mean assets, like there's people that already pre-made said like uh, cartoon graphics,
Yeah,
and all you have to do is just implement that as a view option, and write it into the code to where somebody can click over left or right and you can put a cartoon graphics on it, like an overlay
Yeah.
to where they look more cartoony or whatever. And they said that there was a comment in one of the Hard Knock Nights videos where they said that, and I touched on it there, but it is doable. It is doable. I mean, um, they're already Hard Knock Nights is already using assets as much anyway, so why not use that asset?
Exactly.
Um, Able to watch
Different
fight
ring sizes.
different ring sizes. That's a big one. That's a big one.
What
Uh,
you think?
I like it. I like it because you had, especially if you're building a fight card. If you're building a fight card, um, I know Klitschko used to fight in certain rings, and
Yeah.
he used to make other fighters that were used to fighting in smaller rings or whatever fight in this big ass ring.
Yeah, I used to be like that. Why are rings so big?
Yeah, and that used to be in contracts. I totally agree with that. There should be um,
Contracts.
uh, contracts. There should probably be a list of different ring sizes.
Things
I
you
don't know
could
how
check
many. I
off.
don't know how many there are. Uh, of like how many uh, in the fighting world there is. I can't. I haven't really looked into it honestly.
And that's the research that companies got to do. You got to do these things.
Yeah,
You
there's
know, if you're talking about authenticity, you got to do that type of research.
but I know that they had different ring sizes
Yeah.
and especially those used to be very big hot points. I remember back in the HBO days when HBO was the place for all the fights, and
Oh yeah.
they used to talk about everything. They used to get detailed. And, you know, Jim Lampley used to say, "Oh, they got a bigger fight for this one because he's a he's a fighter that likes to uh, be on the move." So and then it was vice versa. Oh, they got a smaller fight, and it's gonna hinder him because he's a boxer that likes to be on the move, but he can't move, and the ring's gonna get cut off. So yeah, ring sizes should be a thing. Should be definitely a
Yeah.
thing. Uh, Different glove sizes for sparring. Um,
That
Amateur
builds
and
your
pro belts.
speed up, like when you're training and stuff. I think the different glove sizes should come into play. Not glove sizes, but in general, but different brands. You know, you be able to
Different
pick
brands.
different.
If they're gonna if a boxing game is gonna go different sizes and stuff, they would actually have to. I think they should tie it into. I wouldn't say they have to. They should tie it
Um,
into where it helps your attributes, your speed, your power, so on and so forth.
yeah,
If they do different glove sizes, but for the most part, I don't. That's never been a thing in boxing games, and they should. I mean, that was set apart. So guys, if you guys are listening to Fight Night, Round for Round team or Hard Knock Nights, yo, bring us different sizes of gloves, and
yeah.
tie 'em into attributes. I think that will definitely set you guys apart from either or. But if you guys both do it, it's not setting you apart. But definitely, guys, if you guys are listening to this, pick some of these things up. We want a real game. We want a different style. But
And they also got to talk to boxers about when they have certain brand gloves on, what to do because Rios is a puncher's glove.
hmm
Then you got different gloves have different feels to them just for certain boxers.
then you have the grant.
So
The grants are more padded, more bulkier because
yeah,
that's what Floyd always used was Grant.
yeah, for his hands.
hmm you should definitely get boxers in there to where people know about boxing gloves, and why they use different ones. Um, let's see, multiple user controlled boxers online. What do you mean by what is that?
Offline.
Offline. What?
You get able to. It's basically what we started talking about earlier. That you're able to control more boxes offline.
So if you build a car, if
Like
you build a
careers,
card,
like a stables and stuff.
okay, yeah, yeah. I'm all about the staples. I think that idea is a great thing. Adding boxers into your legacy, which would be your career mode.
And that's something we was talking about before we even got online.
Yeah.
About adding the boxes keep generating. You know, every so often boxes generate into your career. It's like 2000. What was that? Fight Night 2004 in
Mm,
the legacy mode. The boxes generate.
2004 had a yeah, 2004 had it, and I think round two had it.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not sure about round three, but I know those two had it for sure. Where boxers would come in, even even what they should do, especially in a career mode, they should have movements, weight class movements,
yeah.
weight
And
class movements.
I'm glad you talking about the weight class. This is another thing because people keep saying we should be able to jump up two or three boxing weights. It shouldn't be like boom, I'm jumping up to fight this person. I'm jumping up. If you want it realistic, you should at least let's say like 3 or 4 fights. Then you jump up a weight class. But you shouldn't. It should you get a hit on your weight. I mean on something on your
Yeah,
attributes
it should be there should
for
be
jumping up or jumping down.
definitely some kind of effect on your stats.
Yeah,
I feel that they can also do like champion versus champion from different from closer weight classes. Uh, but if you're going to move up in weight classes, you should move up as a champion. You should jump in at least the top five in the next weight class.
yeah,
Um,
and
and I think
and
you should have the
but
ability to move up and down. But it also it impacts and affects negatively and positively your stats.
yes, and because both of these games talking about having an amateur mode. Amateur mode got to play out realistically, especially if you add in amateur things that's within the amateur parameters like Golden Gloves, Olympics, or whatever. That should when you turn pro, that should be something like if I'm a Olympian or I made the Olympics in some type of way, I should be a contender or within the top 10. What you think?
I think you should have um well see you would have to have an in depth amateur mode though. If that's the
Yeah,
case, you're gonna have a real in depth amateur mode. And you don't and this is you don't have to have the Olympics. You don't have to have the Golden Gloves. You don't have to have these organizations. We don't because those might cost money. We don't need
mm-hmm.
those things, but we can you can definitely pull from that idea and say, okay, it's not the Olympics, but it's the World Championship, and you can name it the World Championship, but do an Olympic format.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
that's
saying to where you're getting medals like a gold medal or a silver medal or bronze medal, and and it's the format, it's the Olympic format, but you don't have to name it the Olympics. You
yeah,
can do a Golden Gloves, and you don't have to name it the Golden Gloves. You know, or you can try to talk to these companies and say, hey, look, we're trying to move the boxing, we're trying to move the genre. Um, can you guys work with us? You know,
yeah. That
and
makes a lot of sense.
and
And
I
because
think
you
that
can make different belts from different companies that may sponsor or have be like, well, let me see, the Barnes and Noble belt of championships or something like that. You know, something
uh,
like that.
I mean, you can go to some of these like the Golden Gloves organization and be like, hey, um, this is promotion for you guys. You know,
Yeah, yeah. You gotta have somebody to be able to talk to them.
exactly.
I actually talked to them, but I guess they wanted somebody to confirm or make it seem like it's more realistically
They want
something
it.
that's going to happen. Because
They want to see something. They want to see
yeah,
what like this is the thing. and which I question with some of these games when they put in different products and different items of that they've been showing and different brands and stuff. Companies want to see what they're going to be associated with
Yeah,
before
exactly.
before they're
That's
even
what I
shown.
got.
And if they're not shown, then they're going to tell you no. If they can't see something, they're going to tell you no. Um, and you go to put something out, put it in right. Don't spring it on somebody and say, "Oh, I didn't know I was even in the game." What? Like that's lawsuits waiting to happen.
Yeah, yeah. Because when I talk to these companies, they be so excited. They're like, "Yeah, I'm willing to work with it, but what do you got to show me? You show me something, and we can work something out." And I'm pretty sure a lot of these people, it works in their favor to have their brand within games like that.
Right,
But they
because
want some type of working model. It don't even have to be says heavyweights or whatever. They just want a working model, something going on.
they need a prototype.
Yes.
They need a honest to good, honest to working prototype. They need to see how it's going to work. And and if you show it to them and they go, "Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, yeah, let's do it." Um and that's promotion because these companies are willing to do it because it's reaching more people. The video game industry alone, I'm gonna put this figure out. Alone, Red Dead Redemption 2. I love the game. It was an amazing game. I want to go back and play it again. Red Dead Redemption 2 made more money than actually they made $1 billion less than the top 3 grossing movies of all time.
Wow.
Red Dead Redemption 2 made $6 billion. They're probably making more now, but the Avengers, Avatar, and the Titanic, I believe, made in together a rough estimate of 7 to 8 billion, somewhere around there. But it was about seven, and they made $1 billion more than just one game.
Dad, they said $81.5 billion in 2004.
Right,
$91.5 billion in 2015.
right,
Wow.
dude. Grand Theft this numbers again. Grand Theft Auto 5 sold over 100 from anywhere from 100 million to 110 million copies. Times that by 60.
Yeah, that's a lot. They say globally the video game market is $134.9 billion in 2008.
That's more than and I said
18, I mean.
and I said this before. That's more than the more than Hollywood and music put together.
Yeah.
And and there's all these gamers that are out here that gonna see your brand and they might be boxers. They might because these brands Everlast makes more than boxing gloves. They make warm-ups, jerseys, and all these other things. So people are going to see, and it's going to get it's marketing. People are going to see, oh, Everlast. Oh, yeah, they're in my game. Cool. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this hoodie. That's a big thing, and we I think the teams need a PR person, a person that a marketing PR person that's going to be active and get these things. And they don't have to pay them out front. They can work some kind of deal out with them.
No.
Um, Multiple boxers, okay. Adding boxers into your legacy, we touched on that.
We
Sponsors,
we basically just talking about sponsorship.
yeah. Create a boxer, create a belt. We talked on that one.
Still on that.
being able to create fight. You talked on
We
that one.
talked on that.
Yeah. Gyms,
The,
fully interactive gyms. One of my favorite boxing games, Fight Night Round or Fight Night 2004, has mini games. These mini games are these trainings. I wish it was structured different, but they
right.
have training. They have mitts. They have heavy bag. I don't think they have the speed bag. But they have it has to have interactive mini games that are that have to do with boxing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be I don't want to see a GTA where I'm seeing table tennis in a boxing game. I don't want to see something that has nothing to do with boxing in a boxing game. I want a boxing game to be a boxing game. Uh, Speed bags, double ended bags, uh, mitts,
Jump rope,
jump rope, uh, heavy bag. I don't might have said that. You
sit
know,
ups.
sit ups, bench press, battle ropes, the tire, and the
Yeah.
hammer. Those are things that need to be in a boxing game,
Yes.
especially for the creative fighter career mode, legacy mode, whatever you guys want to call it, and jumping down
Yeah.
to all weight divisions. Yeah, they need everybody. They need all weight classes from I say from lightweight up, and not to hate on my little featherweight guys, but it's just not a big draw right now. The featherweights, I should say.
Yeah. Feather and bantamweights.
Yeah, those feather and bantamweights, they're not just not a big draw right now. Could you name a feather and bantamweight guy?
What'd you say?
Could you name a feather or bantamweight guy?
No.
I mean, it's just not a big thing. I think it should be lightweight, 130 and above, maybe 125, but that's pushing it. I think the 125ers should get pushed up to 130 in the game for the game.
but now I gotta get on my what's called box, my realism box. Offline, I think fans shouldn't be hampered about the weight classes. They could create the boxes for
I think if you're trying to build I think there should be a feature where it generates fighters.
them. Yes, and
Like if you're
it's like
trying to build
trying
a
to
like
escape from
build
that.
like a boxing world sim basically, kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like you become a promoter or whatever, or you're just trying to do a career mode, and it just generates random. I mean, we already get it in a lot of games where it generates a lot of boxers, and I think they should focus on that career mode, that legacy mode, to where boxers come in and out, and it should be based off of a calendar and not just per fight. I think it should be based off a calendar, and you should be able to schedule fights throughout that year and have proper training camps, make it into more of a sim.
If you don't, if you could pick to choose not to go to training camp, and
Mhm.
that takes effect on you.
Mhm. You can pick not to spar, and that takes effect to you. What's his name? Yard. You know.
Yeah, oh boy, I don't want to talk about
Yeah. But a legacy. Let's get through legacy, and then
it.
we'll
Okay,
we'll call
the
it from there.
first one we don't even have to do. We
Yeah.
just did the contract negotiations with promoter trainers for fights. We basically talked about that too.
Yeah, career
About
the
negotiate.
career if anybody's following career mode, legacy mode, this is going to be your I mean, I think it should be a core thing in any fighting in any boxing game is a career slash legacy mode to where you're building your
Yeah,
legacy. Um,
yeah,
Having a stable of fighters. Uh, I I don't know if that should be a in a career mode unless you're doing a manager career mode like a my GM how 2K has it.
yes,
Um, but if you're just doing a boxing career mode, legacy mode, stable of fighters, I don't think they should be in there. Uh, News articles, I think all that should be they should do it should be randomized kind of. After your fight, if you had a devastating knockout, you know there should be a social media uh like on your phone, like you can pull up your phone and there's a social media hub. 2K has it to where you
yeah.
see tweets and stuff that people are talking about you and stuff like that, and you can call out fighters. I think that should be a very interactive thing, especially in the career mode, to where you can
Yeah, I wonder
create
what
create
companies
wild.
they.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder what companies went away from news articles. They used to be evident, and even I think Fight Night. Some of the early Fight Nights had news articles.
Mm-hmm. Ring. Uh, was it Ring King?
Ring magazine.
Yeah, they had a Ring magazine that was associated with them. There was a boxing game. It was
Yeah,
the Ring Legends or something like that, Legends of the Ring or something like that, where they had like news articles and stuff. But that was old like legend boxers. So I think
yeah,
that should be definitely like they should have tweets, or I mean, there's the stuff is there. I mean, you guys look at 2K. They have this stuff, and then you can also expand on it to where you can call out fighters, tweet and
yeah,
talk trash, and have the option to talk trash about a fighter, and to where you can create rivalries. Uh, Licensed trainers.
yeah.
Uh,
They,
Go ahead.
I actually reached out to some trainers. They basically saying the same thing that every other company is saying. They want to see something, and a lot of these trainers, and I'm not really trying to call out nobody because they might change their mind in the future. But they basically want to get paid like if they was in a boxing match or something,
Right.
and that's shameful.
I understand it. I can understand it because there's no guarantee, and they want that bag up front. Um, but they need somebody to talk to them more realistic, and to have that coming of coming down to the world type of talk to them, to where you can try to meet them at that level to try to bring them down properly. You know what I'm saying? Like they have this expectation of, oh, you guys got money, but they need to come at them properly. Say, look,
Yeah,
this is what we're aiming to do, and there's a lot of ways that they cut them in on a 1% of the proceeds or something, or give them a percentage of the sales somehow, to get these names or DLCs or stuff like that, and
yeah, exactly. That sounds better.
that will help them, and especially if you have somebody around that trainer. Some of these trainers are old school, some of them are new school, that they're a part of social media. So if they had somebody around them that was kind of young, and to where they can promote that trainer and say, hey, look, and I'm not going to call out him. I'm just using him for reference. I'm not saying anybody talked to him or anything, but Freddie Roach, right? He's kind of a older school a trainer to where he's not big on social media. He's not. He has one, but he's not out there like that. So if there was somebody around him saying, hey, could you cut us a let's cut a video. They're gonna sell your DLC for the game, to where it can create that buzz. That's something that can be done. And that trainer, so they can do the same thing with boxers too. That trainer can get a proceeds from that DLC.
Yeah,
You
makes yeah, it makes sense.
know, I think trainers should be in there, in some kind of aspect, even if it's just like if you even have a Teddy Atlas, let's say, to where he gives you more guts and more heart or more courage, to where he does a little cutscene. You're not really properly training with him, but he comes to you and he gives you that little that bonus stat. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
boost, that boost of heart, courage, and guts. Because and the reason why I say Teddy Atlas is because I go back to the Timothy Bradley thing when he was like, "We're firemen. We run to the fire." That's why I use that reference.
yeah,
Uh,
that's a good idea.
being able to save a classic
Hey,
fight.
that was a in one of the fight nights that it say the fight was a classic fight or a good fight and it saves it automatically. I don't know which
Yeah,
fight night.
I do remember that. I do remember that, and because it was kind of like it was kind of like a almost like a rivalry fight kind of thing, but it
Yes,
because of the way it played out, it saved it as a classic fight, and you can go back to play that. I do like that idea. I do like that idea. Um, Press conferences, they have it in what do you call it? Why don't we have it in a boxing game? They have it in UFC, and I think
exactly.
they think they do a pretty decent. I haven't played the new UFC, but I think they, from what I've seen, I think it's kind of nice, the press conferences and stuff. Um, each country has their own trainers and gyms. We touched that
We
on that.
just went over that.
Yeah. Uh, better records for people in the top 20, definitely in the top 10.
You know, offline when they get boxes records, their records be looking all garbage. You be like, how's that joke in the top 10
Yeah,
with
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
record like that?
yeah. Um, and on the career mode, legacy mode, is if they're going to implement the amateur thoroughly, they need to give you the ability to jump. If you had a long amateur career like Lomachenko, where
Hmm.
his second fight he was fighting. Well, hold up, yeah, his second fight he was second or third fight he was fighting for a belt
Yes,
as a pro. Why not? Why not? Um, Sparring with different fighters with different styles. Weight shouldn't matter.
yeah. If you're working on certain things for your next fight,
I think it should be definitely in a range. But then again, it goes
trash
back.
sparring.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're not going to be a heavyweight fighting a Pacquiao in
Okay,
sparring,
yeah, I understand that.
in sparring
At least
wise.
2 or 3 weights,
Right.
not
It should be
too.
within a scale. But that goes back to what I was saying earlier, to where they need to dial in styles and different different fighter tendencies. They need to have that dialed in to where there's not just four styles like Fight Night was, and they actually either animate it properly, animate it from somebody that knows boxing and can lock down these different styles of numerous styles, or get a motion capture where they get the different styles recorded to where you can prepare for different styles in the career mode. But that has to be in
Yeah,
there. Styles have to be in there. Proper styles. Not this minimal four like Fight Night does.
yeah, that don't make no sense.
Uh, the ability to watch and read text commentary of different fights. I think there should be a well, no game is going to get that because EA just locked down ESPN for official rights. Um,
That.
so yeah, but they would have to put in. Um, I mean,
They
what?
could put in a generic, but it got to look good. A generic type of studio or whatever.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, I mean, they can implement like a ESPN like type of situation, um, and do it like that to where there's like a site that you go to and you see like different fight cards or whatever. It can be all off like they can pull it up on your phone, stuff like that. It's doable. It's very doable, but like to have it a proper presentation like ESPN proper presentation, you won't get that because EA has the license for that now, and that's
Mm.
what is killing the boxing game. And that's what could have probably hurt um, these fighting teams, these guys doing the games, from getting any top rank guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could,
What do you, this is an idea. I don't know if I got it on a list about when you fight in different countries and they speak their language, but it'd be like a text to tell you actually what they're saying or interpreter, like in the down at the table with the announcer telling you exactly what's going on. Like if you're fighting in a different country, do you like that idea, or you think that's a little too much?
too much to me.
Okay.
Too much to me. The only way you can do the only way that I would do that is in that region. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna sell the game in Russia, there should be a Russian. It should be localized in Russian. So the announcers will be you get Russian announcers. But us in America and everybody else is speaking English or whatever language that you're speaking, it shouldn't. There
Like
should
if you
be.
fighting somebody from Russia and their corner, if they put the so-called put the like they speak in tongue, what you doing, champ? You think they still should be talking English?
No, no. Like
Okay.
I mean we don't even need to know what like if like little cutscenes in the corners, we don't need to know what they're talking about.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
just
you
let
know,
this.
in one of the fight in the fight, some I think two or three of the fight next there at the corner. They're like, "What you doing, champ? You know, do this, do that."
Yeah, but it
And
see the problem is that it didn't mean anything.
okay,
You understand what you know what I mean? Like it didn't have any impact on the fighter itself, and that's something that they can implement. Like those corner chats can actually affect the fight, but that goes to trainers also. If they get a let's say a Teddy Atlas, and you're fighting one of Teddy Atlas's fighters, let's say you're fighting a Timothy Bradley, right? And and Teddy Atlas gives him that fireman's speech, and that fight that and Timothy Bradley comes out hyped, ready to go, and he puts it on you. Like then yeah, I mean, but even then, I because we the corner, our corner, let's say if it was your corner, right? You're not gonna
oh
you're not gonna hear them talk, so you don't know that. But it should definitely, if they're gonna be talking and they're gonna have cornermen and stuff, I think that should affect the fighters a little bit more. Not
yeah,
super majorly, but if they give them, what are you doing? You know, uh, 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 lead with your jab, and they go out and implement that. Do you feel me?
yeah. And that's when the tendency of being a good listener
Right,
and a bad
right,
listener should come with
right,
the fighter.
right. Um, you said ability to watch text commentary of different fights. I think we should be able to, like going on that. I think there should be like a list of fights, especially if you're in your career mode, and you're just like you're not wanting to train or whatever. You should be able to see a fight coming up and press A and be able to spectate it.
Yeah.
And it'll be a simulation cast, and you can see the fight happening. You can hear the commentaries. You can hear the corners, and the commentary will talk about how how what their tendencies are and stuff, so you know these things. And then there's scouting reports also, to where you can go and see their scouting reports. But I do like that idea that there's a lot of ways you can implement that. Different ring sizes, we touched on that one. Uh,
Sponsor. Let's do the sponsorships.
Sponsorships. Decide who and again who you sponsor
Decide who
and
you sponsor, and again, it may affect your standing in the eyes of your peers and fans. Wear all lines down into the ring. Up,
okay.
you get pick different sparring partners to pick. No, Dad, reading this wrong. But this is a good way to get sponsors and showcase their products too. You get wear different things into the ring, and it shows off the sponsors. Like you get these lions dub, you get these rings, you get these rares and stuff like that.
Right, right. And then I mean
And
you
they
can
sponsor a different boxer and help them have more money for training or whatever. To get things, especially in the beginning parts, to help um get money to buy certain things like gym equipment,
yeah,
more gym times.
yeah, better gym equipment, better better strength and conditioning coaches, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh, I agree. I think what was it? Fight Night Champions had was it round four, and Fight Night Champions that had Dodge in there,
Oh yeah, it was 4.
and it might have been three also. And then they also had Burger. Did they have Burger King in there?
Yeah, because you get the Burger King. I
The
think
King.
yeah,
He would walk in the ring with you.
yeah.
And I have no problem with that. That's that's been done. I think Conor McGregor did that with Burger King. I think.
But I think the way EA did it was too cheesy, and it was like kind of off-putting. It didn't give you that boxing feel, the whole atmospheric feel to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game.
I think it could be done if storyboard it properly and designed properly. It's I I like it. Um, Deeper story mode mixed with career mode. I think they I don't know why you guys have that separated.
I don't know. One of the guys that did it, I guess he separated it.
I don't think there should be a story mode. I think your story mode should be your career mode.
Yeah, I don't. I know. I didn't like that story mode I did because to me,
It takes
story
away from
mode
the
that's
game.
actors, that's
Right.
resources.
Right. And I'm not going to get too deep into it, but you take a look at NBA 2K. They had Idris Elba in it. Okay, he was supposed to be the coach of whatever team that you pick in NBA 2K20. But after you're done with the story mode, the little story part, he's not your coach. You never see him again. So it's like, why did I do all that? Why was that even in the game? It gave me an experience, but my career mode continues. So why would I care about, even though he's a great actor or whatever, Idris Elba even being in the,
Mm,
like, what does it matter
yeah,
if it
exactly.
doesn't affect my career mode?
Yeah,
Um,
that's wasted resources.
yeah, I don't like the whole story mode. Career slash legacy mode, because as your career mode you're building a legacy for your fighter that you created, or if you picked a star, I would say what a current boxer or legend, then you're living out their career as you see it. Um,
Yeah,
Starting off gyms, I don't think you like all depending on this goes to play of if there's a full in-depth amateur background and what hype you have behind your name. If you're a great prospect and then you have a lot of hype, then you could start off at a better gym,
exactly.
right? I mean, I think that's fair. Because you think Lomachenko's started off as in where he started off when he was as an amateur, when he became pro. Nope.
No, I don't think so. But
Uh,
some people they went to one gym and that's all the gym they knew.
right.
I
Yeah.
think Tank did that.
Yeah. And there's
Exceptions.
you can pick to where if you can either stick in your gym as you grow, and say if you want that amateur gym, and that's the way you start it. Like, there should be different gyms, but you should be able to pick it, and like either you went down to the rundown gym, but that boosts up your heart, grit, and determination, or if you picked like a high profile gym to where you're more out there to where you get better sponsors, and it's not based off your skill set because you're just turning pro. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there could be that option. That's something they can play with.
Yeah, I understand that.
Uh, I agree with the deeper career mode. I don't like story mode though.
Yeah.
Deeper career mode, which should kind of play into kind of a career mode, should be kind of like choose your own adventure story mode.
Yes.
Um, Amateur, I think we went into that one a little bit. You said different age groups up to 26, start at 16. Pro-ams, Olympic teams. Yeah, we touched on that a little bit earlier.
Yes.
You talked about Road to Glory and NCAA, um, getting like the Heisman Trophy and stuff like that. Yeah, I think it should start with. I think it the whole career mode should start with a in-depth amateur, and you can pick your routes that you want to go, and you don't have to go that route.
Yeah, you don't even have to be an amateur if you
Right,
don't want to.
right. You can just jump into, oh, what do you call it, if you wanted to, just turn pro.
First pro fight,
Yeah.
18, turn pro.
Mhm.
Especially depending on your country too.
Yeah. Uh, Advancing tournaments. Okay, we kind of touched on that one earlier, where they don't have to be Olympics, don't have to be Golden Gloves, don't have to be like, but have those styles of play. I would say.
Yes.
Uh, Through your career advancements, you should be able to get the option to train, or oh like train in different gyms.
Yes. It's
I
basically what you said about the UFC.
What was that?
The UFC, it's basically what you said about the UFC game with the training and different gyms and different things that they have implemented into the UFC game.
I think they should definitely have, like, okay, in the boxing world we have Big Bear, we have uh Colorado, we have um what's some other big ones?
A lot of gyms in Philly and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and
like
you got the
we should have that
Mayweather gym.
option. Yeah, then we have like the Vegas stuff. We should have an option to where we can pick where and how we want to train, and that affects our attributes. But we can
Yes,
also, it gives us a higher like stamina if we go to Big Bear, and then we can still work on our power. Like, they can play that a lot, man. They can play around with that. But I think there should be a choice of training camps, especially when you go
yes,
pro, like to where this is where your training camps is, or you can bounce around if you wanted to shake it up. But you might not get the right effects you want. Um, Advanced
traveling to other
career,
countries for big fights
yeah.
should be introduced.
Mhm. Rivalries, um, should go back all the way to amateurs. I like that. Mosley Forest, yep. Press conferences, and and even a backstory behind the press conferences. Like these guys fought in the amateurs, and he got the best of them or whatever. Let's see if we can rewrite that. Like there should be things like that, backstories. Media's memory, okay. Different countries introduced. What's this one?
When they make a big announcement about like you signed a fight to fight a big fight, you know, make an announcement, about that fight being basically how they do now. Like Wilder about to fight Fury, or Wilder about to fight Luis Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
Make the announcement like on your timeline or whatever, or in your game. But they used to, they used to do things like this in games. Now they're like that feature been taken out of games. And they're gonna probably wait like 8 or 9 games and then introduce it as something new.
Yeah, sometimes you can't wait that. EA learned from that one. The guys
Yeah,
did
they
Fight Night learned
definitely
from that.
did. Yeah,
Um,
they definitely did.
I mean, we kind of touched on some of these things here.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
man, gotta go through it.
Epic, Air Specific. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Air Specific career modes. I think that would be. I think there. If you want to go, like, there should be a legendary career mode where it just has
Yeah,
legendary fighters. If you have legendaries in the game, you understand what I'm saying? Like, if there's the Jack Dempsey's, the Jack, like, it would be a smaller pool, and a shorter career mode, not more in
yeah.
depth of a proper career, like your career mode. But from right there, I think
So I think with this career mode, the Air Pacific career mode, you could put nondescript names in there, like a generator to generate nondescript names up there. They could build up them records that they have for their era. Or you think that's like taking resources for that mode if it's a mode separate?
I I think it just should be one mode. I don't think there should be multiple career modes. Um, Now there should, like, a legacy, like an era fights, like fighting big fights. Why not have that? Why not have that in the exhibition? Jesus, can't even speak. Like the classic fights. They should definitely have that. I like that. Um, where you fight, the Thriller in Manila, these types of fights. That would be a good idea to have, but not a career. I don't think a era specific career mode. Maybe something later on, but I think the career mode should entail everybody, and they come in at different times. Everybody that's on the roster, there should be a mix of every roster fighter and uh, random generated guys, and where you can fight a big name. Like the big names are not automatically at the top. Like you're fighting up the ranks with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense.
But with that, man, I think we'll call it there. We went on. We
Yeah,
we went pretty long on this one, uh, and apologize for last show. This is the redo. There's some things that we touched on then that we probably forgot about, and we probably skipped over. But both teams, what I say, I think this is probably the way I ended it last show, and I think I remember talking about this. Um, is I'm a boxing fan. I'm a gamer, and it's great that people are talking about new boxing games coming out. And I just want a boxing game that is true to boxing. I don't want I don't want a blend of street traditional fighting game, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat mixed with the boxing game, that's being touted with Hard Knock Nights. Uh, I want a boxing game. We had a fairly decent boxing game. Some people say it wasn't that great with Champions. I'm personally a fan of Fight Night 2004 and Round Two. Those are the two I'm more favorite. Um, but I just want a boxing simulator, as much as simulation as we can get, and regardless of if it's the round for round team that's doing it or if it's the team that's Hard Knocks doing it, but just if you're gonna tell us to make a game for us, for the fans, by the fans, let us be a part of it, and don't treat us like where we don't have any say, because that goes against what you're saying from the beginning. That's what I say. That's why I want to leave it. Poe, what you got, man?
Yeah, I want to say I'm a boxing fan. I'm a gamer, but I love boxing and I want it represented accurately. I want boxers and the boxing community to embrace these games and help them be successful and be outspoken about what you want in the game. Let companies know what you want in the game. You know, if you push them and you push your favorite fighters, you have an epic game because if you push the boxers, then they're gonna make sure how they represent it is represented correctly.
Right.
Just be involved as much as you can in trying to make these games happen, and they're done right. Don't let nobody back you down for what you feel, but just be respectable about it.
Um, Last thing I want to just add on to is when you're doing a boxing game, you're not you're not an artist. You have source material that's already there. We're getting a boxing game, and to reinvent the wheel is where a lot of games have failed. Don King is one of them. Prize
Yeah,
Fighter is one of them. We want a boxing game that is boxing, nothing else. I um, will leave it at that. Make sure you guys. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Remember, as boxing fans and gamers, it's your guys' money that you guys are spending for this product. And if the product does not live up to what you want, go play one of the older games. Go play a Fight Night Champion. Go play a 2000 Fight Night 2004, round 2, round 3, whatever. It's your guys' money. I'm not telling you how to spend it, but if you speak with your wallet, you will be heard. And you back that up with, as we're doing right here, what we would like to see in boxing games. Be heard, be involved. There is a link in the description for a Discord where it's the round for round Discord, and there's also do you want me to put the link in there for the wish list?
yes,
All right, well, there will be a link in the Discord for it because there's two separate Discords. There's a round for round Discord, and there is a um, boxing wish list Discord. If you guys are not familiar with Discord, Discord is a way to connect with others. You can do chat, you can do voice and video. If you guys do not have it, if you guys are not aware of it, uh, you can get it on your phones. You don't have to have a computer if you're not a computer user. You can connect on your phones and be talking um, to different people over your phone. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can get your Discord. But get Discord, go to these forums, go to these chat rooms, and let your voices be heard, guys. This is the biggest push now that we are aware of boxing games. Let's get the boxing game we want and deserve. Um, we're the ones throwing down on the money for these games. and they wouldn't be making a boxing game if it wasn't for us. So, with that said, links for if you guys want to follow Poetic on Instagram, there'll be links for his Instagram. Um, and I think I'll probably throw his Twitter in there too. Also, links for all the Discords and the websites that we are referencing in this video. With that said, it's J-Nox signing out. I hope you guys have a good one. Poe, anything else?
Like, subscribe, and share.
Indeed.
Peace.
Indeed. Peace out, guys.